What happened when the black sheep of the family finally snapped? My perfect older sister was marrying her college sweetheart in what my mom called the wedding of the century. Meanwhile, I was the disappointment who'd been disinvited from being maid of honor because I might cause drama. The night before the wedding, I got a panicked call from Taylor's maid of honor. She'd found something in the groom's jacket and didn't know what to do. I drove over immediately. It was a burner phone with hundreds of messages to another woman. Not just any woman, my sister's best friend from work, who was also at the rehearsal dinner that night. The messages were graphic, romantic, and dated right up to that morning. I scrolled through months of evidence. Chris telling Brooke how boring Taylor was, photos of them at the hotel where Taylor thought he was having his bachelor party, and messages about their real relationship while he played devoted fiancé. The worst part? Messages about the wedding itself. Brooke asking if she should wear white to mock the virgin bride. They'd even planned to sneak away during the reception. I had two choices: stay quiet and let my sister marry a cheater, or blow up the perfect wedding my family had spent $80,000 on. I chose option 3. I spent all night creating a beautiful slideshow with their engagement photos, childhood pictures, and sweet messages from family. Then, right at the end, I added screenshots of every single text message between Chris and Brooke. The next morning, I convinced my cousin, who was running the AV equipment, to let me surprise Taylor with a video during the reception. He thought it was romantic and promised to keep it playing no matter what happened. The wedding ceremony went perfectly. Taylor looked stunning, Chris seemed nervous, and my parents were glowing with pride. I played my part as the reformed black sheep finally supporting her sister. During the vows, I caught Brooke and Chris exchanging knowing looks. She wore a white dress, exactly like she'd texted about. Chris winked at her while saying, "I do," to my sister. Then came reception time. I stood up and announced I had something lovely to show everyone. Everyone turned to watch the big screen as Taylor and Chris, a love story, began playing. The first half was beautiful. Everyone was crying happy tears. Then came the messages. "I can't wait to marry you, so I can officially cheat on you." Text from Chris to Brooke, sent that morning. The entire reception saw it. The next slide showed Brooke's response. "She has no idea we've been together this whole time. Should I object?" During the ceremony, Taylor turned to look at Chris, who had gone completely white. Brooke tried to sneak out the back exit, but my cousin blocked the door. Chris started stammering excuses, but the slideshow continued, revealing more evidence. Photos of Chris and Brooke in bed together, and screenshots of them planning to use Taylor's honeymoon suite while she thought Chris was at work conferences. The final slide showed a selfie Chris had sent Brooke from the hotel room that morning with the caption, "One last morning as a free man. Tonight I'll be legally bound to that boring witch, but my heart belongs to you." The reception hall went dead silent. You could hear champagne glasses being set down. Taylor stood up slowly, looking around at the crowd staring at her with pity. Then she did something nobody expected. She started laughing. "You know what the funny part is?" she said, grabbing the microphone. "I originally asked my sister to be my maid of honor, but my mom said she might cause drama and ruin my perfect day." She looked directly at our mom. "Turns out the only person who tried to protect me was the one you said would ruin everything." Taylor ripped off her veil and tore the skirt from the dress, letting it fall to the floor at Chris's feet. Then she walked over to Brooke and said loud enough for everyone to hear. The dress code said no white, but I guess homewreckers don't follow rules anyway. Chris was still trying to explain when Taylor cut him off. "The wedding's off, but please enjoy the open bar. It's already paid for, and Lord knows I need a drink." My mom was horrified about the money and the embarrassment. My dad was actually impressed that I'd handled it like a pro. But Taylor hugged me harder than she ever had and whispered, "Thank you for being the only one who told me the truth." 6 months later, Taylor moved in with me. She kept the engagement ring and sold it to pay for therapy. Chris and Brooke's affair ended 2 months later when Brooke caught Chris cheating on her with someone else. Turns out the family black sheep was the only one actually looking out for her.